Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup. This is a Lifetime reality series, I guess. Um, and it shows us Gypsy Rose's journey after coming out of prison, after murdering her mom back in 2015, was it? I want to say it was 2015. She helped, I guess you could say, murder her mom. There's conspiracy theories, blah, blah, blah. Um, I didn't know about this case until, what was it, December of 2023 when she got out of prison. Someone told me about it, a coworker, and I watched The Act on Hulu and then kind of started looking more into it. Um, I am in the mind that this girl shouldn't have necessarily gone to prison. She literally was forced to sit in a wheelchair. She had a feeding tube. Her teeth were taken out. This is the doctor's fault. This is her mom's fault. The fact that she helped in murdering her mom, was it necessarily the right thing to do? No, but if I'm being held in a serial killer's dungeon and I kill that serial killer, does that make me a murderer and I should go to prison for it? I don't think so. If I'm being tortured, that's self-defense. I kind of think this was self-defense. Yes, I think there's other things she could have done. I think my example is a little more extreme, but she felt trapped. She was a child. She was trapped. So I don't think she should have went to prison per se. I think she should have went to a mental hospital though. This girl has spent her entire life not understanding how life works. Um, and the fact that she was dating in prison, um, and the fact that she got married in prison, it just goes to show that she was not mentally she's mentally unstable, and it's not her fault. It's her life that she's had. Um, and she just needed like someone to really help her. Um, so I wanted to watch this just because when I heard that she got married in prison and everything, I was just like, that's not going to last. And there's going to be so many issues that come from her life, and she's not going to know how to handle life because she just never experienced life. Um, and so I just wanted to see kind of what happens and see how much I would be right about. And I kind of want to go episode through episode with this because there's just so much to talk about here. Because the first episode, she gets out of prison. The first thing you see is that her husband, Ryan, he seems to be very insecure in a sense. He's constantly wanting to be like touching her, holding her hand. He feels like he almost never had a relationship in his entire life. Um, feels like he's kind of a loner. Um, and he's just never really had any kind of relationship, is what it feels like. Um, Gypsy and Ryan are also like interested in the fact that they have paparazzi following them, yet they're filming a reality TV series. What did they expect? And not only that, the beginning of the episode shows that she's getting out of prison at 3 a.m. because they don't want to cause attention. The fact that she's getting out at 3 a.m., doesn't she think, there might be some paparazzi going on? Immediately watching this first episode, I'm like, stuff feels like it's been planned. It almost feels like the show either had actors there to be paparazzi, or they told people to be there so they could film it. Because of course people are going to come up to you when you have a camera crew following you into a store. Um, so yeah, immediately my first thought is this just feels so staged. Um, and the thing that also is brought up in this first episode is her ex, Ken, who she was also engaged to for a while. We'll talk more about that later. And the episode kind of ends as well with her arguing with her parole officers. She wants to go to a Chiefs game, I believe. She wants to go to an NFL football game the day after prison or whatever. What? She seriously thought that she could just do that. I don't understand that. Again, it almost feels like the parole officer is an actor pretending to be a parole officer. I don't feel like it's real. I don't know why for a moment Gypsy thought that she could just go do whatever the hell she wants now that she's outside of prison. So I found that very interesting. Already within the first episode, I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. I'm already sensing that this marriage is not working out. Gypsy is not as cutesy with Ryan as Ryan is with her. This next episode, let's see, where are they at? Oh, that's right. They go over parole. They are hanging out with Gypsy's biological father. and then her father has married, has a daughter, she's hanging out with her half sister. Um, yeah, so father and daughter reconnect after years. Um, this again was kind of just going over a lot of parole stuff. Immediately, you get the sense that the family does not like Ryan. Um, immediately you find out that like Ryan's kind of seems like a lazy butthead at times. He's kind of a mama's boy, it seems like. Um, and you can just immediately kind of sense the family doesn't like him. Um, I believe her dad says at one point, "I have guns, don't make me use them," or something like that. Um, like the half sister and Ryan are talking at one point, and he's like, "We're just gonna get along great," and sister's kind of rolling her eyes. Um, and immediately there's some cringy stuff too because Gypsy's like, "Oh, last night Ryan and I consummated our marriage," and like her stepmom is like, "Oh my god, I'm so happy for you," and the sister's in the background going, "What the hell? You just said that on camera and crap. This is weird." And the way she says it is so awkward and weird. And she's like, "It's good. It was good. It was good." It was so. It's already cringy and weird. And again, Ken comes up again, we'll talk more about this later, but that's really what this episode was. Um, Meeting the family that Gypsy has essentially. This third episode, they go to New York. She goes to New York for Good Morning America. Um, the flight on the way there, we see that Ryan can be a little bit stubborn, I guess you could say. They're arguing, they're bickering. Um, and he's kind of rude to their driver that's bringing them to the airport. And this is where he starts going, "Oh, I'm just joking. I'm joking." And he's clearly not joking, which is interesting. So, yeah, again, you start seeing more of this is not going to last. Gypsy goes on Good Morning America. Um, what else? They also go to Times Square. And again, they're shocked that the paparazzi and people want to take pictures of her and stuff. But she literally goes on TikTok and says, "Hey, I'm at Times Square, everybody." And then again, she's got camera crew following her. So why is she surprised? I don't understand that. Again, you're kind of seeing Ryan being uncomfortable and insecure. He's like, "Hey, we got things to do. Come on." She also does a podcast in which she's talking about how Ryan is great in bed. Ryan again seems insecure. He's like, "Shh, take that, Ken. Yeah, she loves my D. Okay, that's interesting." And again, Ken is brought up again. Again, more on this later. They also look at a place to do a wedding reception in which it seems like Ryan is much more happy to be married than Gypsy does. Again, we're seeing things fall apart. Um, Next, they go to Louisiana again to hang out with family. She gets a tattoo. And Ryan gets a tattoo with a rose on it. Might not have been the best idea, Ryan. Um, we find out stories from her cousin or uncle or something about her mom and such like that. Again, we find out more with the family. Um, Again, I think the half sister, I don't know if it was this episode or the second one or what, but the half sister seems to be the only one that is like making the most sense. She is like telling Gypsy, like, "Hey, you probably don't want kids right now. You're on the pill or something, right? You should probably do that." Um, like she just seems the smartest person out of everyone in this entire uh, reality TV series. I was everyone else. I'm like, "Are you flipping kidding me?" I believe it's this episode too where the mom is coming into the stepmom kind of comes into play, and she literally says to the camera, "Gypsy and Ken are no longer together. Just because she's not friends with her exes doesn't mean I have to break up with her ex, and Ken and I are still friends." And she's talking about how she's still talking to Ken. And once again, Ken is brought up in this episode. I wonder if this marriage is going to last. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's keep going. Next up, Gypsy and Ryan adopt a dog. I believe in the last episode, they're fighting about getting a dog. Ryan's like, that's a lot of responsibility because he knows he's going to be the one that's going to have to take care of it. Gypsy gets all cranky because she's like, "You're treating me like a child. Why does everyone treat me like a child?" It's because she technically kind of is a child. She never got to have a childhood. She's never really faced the fact that she had this stuff happen to her, and she is acting like a child. I hate to say it. Um, and I understand how this would be difficult, and that's why I said she shouldn't have just been in prison. She should have had some major therapy, mental help on everything that's happened to her. Because this episode, the episode before, when all this puppy talk is going down, she's just being so turd like over all this. I believe the last episode too, I forgot to mention, is the episode in which she cleans out the fridge and cleans up the house, and she's like literally going like, "Oh, Ryan's gonna be so pissed when he gets home," and then Ryan's pissed when she gets home. It just seems like again that this was either written, the producer said, "Hey, you should do this," or Gypsy's just doing it to try to make issues with Ryan because again, Ken is brought up in every single damn episode. So I get this dog. Um, oh, and this is also the episode in which Gypsy is hanging out with Mia, having sister time, and she tells Mia that like she might be pregnant, that he orgasmed in her, I guess you could say. I don't know. You know what happened. He did the deed in her. Um, and she's constantly comparing Ryan's behavior to her mom's, triggering trauma, it says. Um, and again, the sister seems like the only one that's really caring and trying to help Gypsy. She helps her get the morning after pill. She's again saying, "You need to be more careful because you don't want kids right now. You need to have your own, essentially, childhood. You need to have your own life." Um, and yeah, and then again, Gypsy seems like she's starting drama because, of course, Ryan's upset. She's talking to the world about their sex life. Um, and it's on camera. And so they're having a fight, and Gypsy's, it's not even the producer's cameras. She's got her cell phone camera on, recording the fight, and she starts with, "I'm filming Ryan. He's mad because I said some things to my sister." And she's like starting drama. Again, it doesn't seem like this is real. Or it seems like it's staged. It feels like it's written. Something isn't right about what's going on here. And again, throughout this episode, Ken is also mentioned. I believe this is the episode in which it's either this one or the one after or before that Gypsy's stepmom talks about how she talked to Ken, and Ken basically broke up with her because he felt that she needed to grow, and maybe after she got out of prison, that's when they could get re-engaged again. And I believe Ken is at the back end of this episode that we're going to see him in the next episode. Again, Ken. This marriage is definitely going to last. And yeah, just constant. Yeah. And again, Ryan, again, just kind of feels very uncomfortable with the relationship at times. He feels so insecure about it and such like that. Yeah. Next episode is Gypsy working on starting her nose job. Her dad wants to spend time with her. And she opens up. Oh, this is the episode in which she talks to her stepmom about Ken, and her future with Ryan. The father is the second most. Seems like he's actually trying to do good for Gypsy in this show, following the half sister. He's like, she needs to go and experience the world. She needs to make mistakes. She needs to learn the same way we all did. She's just going to learn it in different ways. And all I can do is give her advice and be there for her. Which, yeah, but he also needs to kind of butt in at times. Gypsy's just not making smart choices here. He should be telling her, "Don't get a dog. Learn the world first. It's good that you're taking care of something, but you actually need to take care of it." Um, Also, we see more of Ryan in this. The text message that he sends Gypsy, I don't care about you spending time with your dad. I want my woman. Ha ha ha. JK or whatever it says. He's not joking. I think, again, it's why I think it's this maybe his first ever relationship, because is just constantly trying to text her, constantly trying to call her. It seems like constantly we need the video time. And again, Ken is brought up again in this episode. Um, and yeah, you can just see Ryan's insecurity. Gypsy is done with this marriage. The minute that she's talking to her stepmom about it, it's kind of done. The minute that the stepmom's like, "Yeah, Ken still wants to be with you," it's done. She has no interest in it anymore. The stepmom has boundary issues, big time. Her stepmom is an issue. The fact that she is talking to Ken like this is not cool. And again, we'll kind of get into this a little later down, because there's things that happen later down that are just yowza. So yeah, she wants to change her appearance to match what Ken likes, by the way. Which again, yeah, we're seeing Ryan's inner struggles. We see that and see why he's starting to be a little hesitant. Next up, strains her relationship with Ryan. What trip? Back home, Pearl. Oh, that's right. Pearl officer call about social media. Where is Gypsy? Gypsy admit contacting Ken and you need space. Okay, so this one, um, we just really start seeing the marriage fall apart. Um, her parole officer is telling her basically to get off social media, which why she's on social media is beyond me. She's doing it because it's her job. That's her income. That's her job, because she wants to be a reality TV star, influencer, I guess. Which sure doesn't seem like the smartest thing to be doing after not having a life. Um, Again, you see more issues with Ryan here. I think around this time is when Ryan lost his job. So there's literally a part where Gypsy's like, "I'm quitting social media," and Ryan's like, "But that's income. We need money." Um, and I guess I can somewhat understand that, but at the same time, it's social media. She should not be on it. I'm so back and forth on this one, but I'm not loving the things Ryan's doing in this episode. I'm not loving the things that Gypsy's doing in this episode. Again, Ken gets brought up a lot. Um, Ryan is saying things that are just like, dude, don't say that. That's not helping your case at all. Um, and again, he's being very clingy. And just, you can just see where Gypsy's like, I don't like you. I don't like you. And he's just like head over heels kind of thing, because again, I think this is his first relationship. It just really feels like that. She moves out of the house. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks. And she moves in with her family. She has to say goodbye to the dog. Again, Ryan keeps the dog, which is kind of what Ryan was scared of, it seemed like. Ryan seemed like he knew this was going to happen. Yeah. Yeah, and again, oh, that's right. And then she also, after moving out, she's like texting Ryan, showing pictures with her and Ken together hanging out. And it just seems like she's causing drama. It really does seem like she's causing drama. It seems like people are telling her to cause drama or something like that. But again, so much drama. And Gypsy's just being, I'm going to say it, she's being a bitch. Why, after breaking up with someone like that, would you start immediately showing, hey, look, I'm happy now? It feels so weird what she's doing. Ryan also says things in this episode that totally make sense. He says, I think Gypsy wants this honeymoon life, but that's not life, which makes sense. Gypsy was meeting celebrities as a child, going to concerts. She didn't have to do anything. Her mom took care of her with everything. And now as an adult, and then she was in prison where everything was taken care of. And now she's an adult on her own. and she's thinking that's how life should be. That's not life. And again, she seems to want to be a celebrity, even though she says multiple times throughout the show she doesn't want to be a celebrity. She's got a reality TV series on Lifetime thing. Um, yeah, you want to be a celebrity girl. She wants this life, and she's not realizing that that's not what life is, and she's not realizing that she doesn't understand what life is because she's never had one. Um, this episode, I was like, I feel so bad for Ryan at times because again, I think he's just kind of an insecure person, and he's just hasn't. He needs to work on himself. I feel bad for Gypsy because she hasn't had the life that she should have, and she needs to work on herself. This episode's just back and forth, and both people, he's being a dick at times, she's being a bitch. It's just throughout the episode. What an interesting episode. And then we get over onto the next bit. She's adjusting to life with her family. She's torn between Ryan and Ken. She goes through the nose surgery. Um, she goes and meets with Ken some more. The family and Ken meet up and talk. Um, the big thing in this episode was the Mia, the half sister, the stepmom, and Gypsy getting together. And the half sister going, Mom, you did wrong by talking to Ken and bringing this back on. Like, you destroyed their marriage. That's all your fault. That was also in an episode before, too, with the father. Father's like, you need to stay out of this crap. This is not your business. Let Gypsy make her decisions. Mom is just bad news. The stepmom is just, she a bitch. Um, Again, causing drama. It just almost feels written. It feels like this is staged. Um, yeah, there's just a lot in here this episode with that conversation. Even that again, the sister is the smartest person in this entire show because she is seems like she actually has morals and good ethics, whereas the mom's just like, I'm gonna intervene and start some drama. So yeah, basically the end of this episode, she's like, I'm with Ken now. She's also pregnant, even though she said she didn't, or even though she talked to me and stuff like, I don't want to have kids right now because it's not smart. And then we also see Ryan going, oh no, she said she wanted kids. We were trying to have kids, which makes sense to me. I think Gypsy is full of shit. I think she definitely was trying to get pregnant. She wants to have a kid. I think I think Gypsy is almost scared of losing her significant other. I don't know. I think the reason why she kept Ken is because she doesn't want him to leave, so that's why they got pregnant. I don't know. I don't know. This is all interesting stuff. There's a lot of things circulating too and stuff. Yeah. This is just so interesting. And the thing that keeps me interested in Gypsy Rose is just the fact that her life is going to be a mess until people actually help her go through the process of life. She never got to have a life. That's what interests me about this case. She just never had a life. Um, and now she's just kind of out in the world. And her family's not doing too much to help her. Her sister is seeing reason, but she's kind of ignoring her sister because her sister's younger than her. That's a thing. Um, her stepmom is just a piece of crap. Her dad's kind of just like, yeah, I'm just gonna let you do your thing. And he's not doing enough because he doesn't want, again, I kind of get it. He doesn't want to be Dee Dee. Um, but yeah, this was just all so insane. I binged this in a night because I just was like, oh my god, the crap that is going on. Um, no surprise that they got divorced. What was it? 2 months, 3 months? This entire series takes place in 2 months, 3 months. It's insane how much happens in this little amount of time. Again, this feels like a reality TV series. It feels like things are written. It feels like things are happening to happen. Gypsy feels like she's just putting gasoline on a fire to make a fire. Um, Ryan, her husband, just seemed to be someone that was very insecure and just needs to get help himself. This Ken guy, I don't think this is going to last. This poor child that Gypsy has had, Gypsy definitely should not have been having a child. Um, yeah, this is just all around interesting. We're definitely getting season 2 because the way this ends, oh boy, I can't wait to see what other crap. I can't believe I'm saying that, but this girl needs help. That's the big thing at the end of the day. She needs some guidance in her life. She basically needs to start all over. She needs to in prison. I mean, she was in prison for 8 years. She basically should have started at kindergarten and first grade in the first year, second and third, second year, fourth and fifth, so on and so forth. She basically should have started over in life in prison, and it shouldn't even have been prison. It almost should have just been a mental institution because she just she's got no sense of what life is. Um, yeah. I'm not gonna rate this. This is more just interesting to see. I just want to see how it fascinates me what this girl's life is going to be for the rest of her life. I am so interested to see just the things she's saying, the things she doesn't understand. Um, it just fascinates me, and yeah, the people she's going to attract, the people she's going to date, marry. I could see this girl being married like 100 times in her lifetime because she just doesn't understand. It seems like she doesn't know the world. She doesn't know how the world works, and she doesn't got a lot of people in her life really helping her with that. It doesn't seem so. Yeah, that was just like, this almost felt like a rant and just a recap and just me kind of reacting to the things that happen in this because it's all just insane. And this, again, basically everyone involved in this, just poor people, poor Gypsy with the life she had, poor Ryan for needing help and finding help in Gypsy Rose of all people. Um, Poor her dad not knowing how to be a dad essentially with this situation. Poor her stepmom's just psycho. I don't know what's up with her stepmom. Her poor sister for having this half sister now that is Gypsy Rose and needing to be an adult, the most adult out of anyone in this entire freaking reality series. It just yowza. So yeah, guys, that's the end of this review. I guess I don't know what this is. Rant. I don't know. It just is. This is just fascinating. I just want to see where this goes. Just it's just fascinating. I don't know. This is so fascinating. I don't care about the murder. I care more about what is going to happen to this girl for the rest of her life. And she needs to get off social media. She needs to stop doing this reality TV series. But again, she's never had a job. She doesn't know what a job is. She just needs a lot of help, a lot of therapy. Um, and yeah, just some interesting stuff here. So yeah, guys, have you seen this reality TV show? What do you think of this case? This case is just so fascinating. This is the third video I've done talking about her because I think I did the act I talked about. I think I talked about Mommy Dearest, and now I'm talking about this. I believe this is the third one. Just fascinating stuff here. Tell me what you think of this very interesting, strange case. Comment down below. Let me all know all that fun jazz. I hope you guys have yourself a great day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and hey, I'll see you next time.